friends, Jeff here, and welcome to my corner and welcome to another open box. Now in this episode we're going to focus on Vargas Scale Models. Now many of you probably don't know who they are, myself included. It was only when I went to the show earlier this month in Vegas that I discovered these guys. And they actually are an outfit that produces 3D prints of mostly World War I subjects and mostly some experimental vehicles. But what really set them apart is the quality. Now we all know that 3D printing is the way of the future, and these guys come as close or as good as it gets. Now, although 3D printing might not be completely there yet, Vargas Scale Models will give you a pretty good insight of what the future of 3D printing is all about. When I saw these kits, there were a few on display there, I was immediately taken by the quality and the subject. I mean, these things are just neat. So although it's a 3D print, it's not like a cast or it's not like a repop of our original master. No, these are actually 3D prints. So in this episode, we're going to take a closer look and see what's inside the box, and then we'll go from there. And at the end, we'll come back for some final thoughts. But this is pretty interesting, so stay tuned. Now, Vargas Studios, they have quite an interesting inventory. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you are in the market for World War I topics, and especially maybe some experimental vehicles or artillery, then Vargas Studios is the line you should look at. You will find items that you can't find anywhere else, and it's pretty specific. Now, also I mentioned that it's a 3D print, so it's not really a knockoff, or it's not really like a production kind of a resin copy. No, it's an actual 3D print. Now, we carry the line in our inventory, so if you're interested and you want to look at some other items, please go to our website at jeffyscornerstore.com, and I'm sure you'll find more information there. But for now, for this purpose, I just want to open one or two boxes just to show you what you're dealing with. And especially this one, because this is the one that actually drew my attention. So let's see what's inside. So it comes with the instruction sheet, and as I also mentioned, it's only a couple pieces. I think in this case we're talking about probably around maybe 10 pieces at most. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward and not at all time consuming. So first we'll take out the body, and as you can see, this is a one-piece deal. And again, there are no flaws, there is no cleanup. Now you might, when you hold it to the light, you can see a couple of imperfections, but when you really look over it and when you really take a closer look, they're only very faint, and even after putting a primer on there, you can hardly see them. Now what I found out is if you use like a brand new Scotch-Brite pad, and you can go over it like this, you take almost 70-80% off. So it is a good idea to use one of those just to clean them up a little. And then maybe you have to do some sanding here and there just to get most of it off, but it's really not hard to do. So this comes like a one-part hull, let's put it this way, and there is absolutely no cleanup necessary. Then the next big parts are the wheels, if you can call them wheels. Now, immediately you can see there are a couple of these channels on there, these 3D little sticks that you see. That is necessary and quite common in the process of 3D printing because it's all built up in layers. But you can easily break those off. See, they just fall off. And then you just have to clean it up, sand it a little bit, and you're good to go. No other cleanup is required. Then we have the turret. Well, I call it a turret, but it's actually not turning or pivoting, but the same thing. Ready to use, almost no cleanup. And if there are some imperfections, just use a very fine sanding paper or sanding sticks, or use a brand new Scotch-Brite pad and just scour the surface here, and it should be fine. And then last but not least, you get some more parts like the front plate. There is a couple of the guns that are incorporated, and we have the front plate, and also a couple more of the side guns. Basically built two versions. There is the Zaloga version and the Rigsby version. I opted to do the Rigsby version because apparently that was documented. There's a couple pictures in the back of how the vehicle looked way back then, but all in all, again, it's very, very interesting. It's a very interesting subject. I got mine here that is built. Took me around an hour to build this, and then after I was done and primed, when I hold it to the light, you can't see any imperfections anymore. It all becomes uniform and smooth. Another one that I built and primed is the Ford 3-ton tank, also in 1/35 scale, and the same thing, hardly any cleanup, no imperfections, and ready to use. Another one that I'm working on at the moment is the German World War I assault tank, Oberschlesien 1918, and this also comes in a one-piece hull, but then you have to assemble the sides, you know, not really all that much work, but it basically comes like this. It's a little bit more complicated, and you basically have to remove all these. You have to take this off too. But again, if you take a razor saw and you clip them right there, you can break them off, sand them, and then you get this result. So assembly, once again, is very simple. So I will post some more pictures in this video so you can have a closer look of the detail. But all in all, at the end of the day, this is a great, great product. If you're in the market, if you're like, you like to build World War I subject, if you like to at least try a 3D print, I would strongly advise to try one of these. Again, we have them available at our store, so you can get more information out there. But personally, I really like this, and especially because you have almost immediate results. You don't really have to build a lot of pieces, but all the detail is there because it's a 3D print. So that was my take on it. So here we are. I mean, pretty nice, isn't it? I think it's awesome. When I saw these the first time, I was immediately I just wanted to build one. And this is the first one that I built as far as a 3D print. I'm familiar with 3D prints, but I never really built one as a kid, and I must admit it was like a pleasant surprise. It's limited cleanup. Yeah, there are a couple of things that you have to work on left and right, but overall, this is pretty straightforward and easy to do. And once you put a primer over it, it just looks like $1 million. So if you're an enthusiast of World War I subjects, then Vargas Scale Models is definitely a brand that you should look into. Now we're going to carry the line, or we are carrying the line on our website. So please go to our website at jeffyscornerstore.com and check it all out. There is we got a pretty good selection of what Vargas is all about. Now, hope you liked it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And then I'll see you guys next time, either in another inbox review or a build, or definitely every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time on Facebook Live. But for now, Jeff V here, signing off.